So the news that keeps on giving, Bitcoin holds and it holds extremely well. When I did my video just a few hours ago, I was talking that things were going to look pretty damn bad. And we did get a lot of selling happening in the market throughout all of crypto, not just Bitcoin, but of course, Bitcoin is the market leader. So we look at that one first. And if you know how to read a bar chart, the right is the close, the left is the open. And you can see all of this selling happened. And we closed up above the 50%. Incredibly good close. I'm so happy to see Bitcoin actually absorb all of that selling, close above its 50%, and make sure we don't have to test this 17K roughly mark and we can make higher highs. It's really, really important that we hold that, and we did. Of course, there is some selling happening, so expect the volatility to continue as we start to see who ends up dictating the market, the buyers or the sellers. But something tells me that the buyers are going to win. They are really pushing up this price. I mean, my goodness, you can even just see Bitcoin pumping right now as I'm recording this, and that will flow over into the alts. Speaking of the alts, let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, a very, very similar story. You can see it doesn't close as good as Bitcoin, but still closes on its 50%, opens up, and we're headed higher above its 50%. And you're going to see a very good, hopefully roaring out of the gates, a lot of buying happening because the market is definitely showing its strength at the moment. If we have a look at Bitcoin dominance, you can see Bitcoin dominance has been on its steady climb up to the 50%. So there's the 50%, the yellow golden line. And you can see there was a couple of consecutive days up. We did close, and now we are headed up above our 50%. So look for Bitcoin to perform extremely well in the coming days as we start to approach this high that we made here of about 48% market cap dominance by Bitcoin. Then, of course, we have the next one, which is the UST dominance. If you've been following my channel recently, you know how much I talk about this chart. And we had several days down. That was the odds coming up. We had several days up. That was the odds going down. And you can see a massive upthrust happening here. That was just all the selling happening and then closed, and we closed above the 50%, but now we're headed back down. So look for hopefully a couple of these bars to get wiped out. So hopefully we look for a bit of these bars to get cutted out and for the dominance to continue to sideline as these money start to flow into alts. Speaking of alts, what are the best altcoins? Okay, so there's a lot of altcoins actually doing quite well at the moment. But I've done a lot of looking at the charts today, and I can tell you 10 cryptos that are actually looking pretty damn good. Now, this does not by any means say hodl these coins, buy them, hold them for 2 years, hold them for 5 years, stake them. That's not what it means at all. These are just 10 coins that look good as of today. And these look like they're going to gear up for a bit of a run in the coming days. Remember, it is a trader's market at the moment. If you're going to buy a coin and you're going to hodl it and you're not going to care about the price going up or down, just buy Bitcoin and buy Ethereum and don't buy anything else until the market unfolds. So let's have a look at crypto number one. This is Sand. Sand has done an extremely good job yesterday, and that was the day of the 30th of June. So you can see all of that selling pressure and closed up. That's what you're looking for. I'm looking for two things: a close above the 50% and a very, very big drop in the bar with a very, very strong close. That means all of that fear got gobbled up in the market. Close on the trend, raising above it and making its way higher on extremely high volume. We are probably going to at least test the high here of $1.35. I'm really quite excited, as you can tell from what I'm talking about. But you just have to understand, guys, yesterday was max fear. And for all of these alts to dip down and close strong, that's what I'm looking for. A really good, strong close to show buyers are interested in this crypto. That's what I'm looking for. The next one up is Arweave. This is another crypto that did extremely well yesterday. It's not to say hold it for the next bull run. I'm not saying that. All that fear got gobbled up, double bottom playing out. Then you got all this buying happening, massive volume, closes extremely high on the bar. Not as good as Sand, but still closes very, very strong. Already on its second day, and you can see it's up by about 8% already on its second day. Fourth time at the top here. So we'll see how we can go and burst through. Remember my last video, fourth and beyond means that we're probably going to break through support or resistance. So this will be Arweave's fourth time at the $11 mark. So hopefully we can break that and start going for higher ground here. Let's have a look at crypto number three, and that is ApeCoin. Very similar. All that fear got gobbles up. It doesn't bleed all the way down. There were a lot of cryptos that bleeded down very, very low, but Ape actually held its own very, very well when all the selling was happening. That's strength. Strength is not found on the up days. It's found on the down days. Why isn't this crypto getting sold? There was plenty of other cryptos that got sold, right? There were plenty of other cryptos that bleeded down and tested some of the lows and sometimes even broken them from the 16th and the 17th and 18th of June. But why didn't Ape? Ape kept putting in higher highs, right? Despite the market volatility and the market going against so many cryptos, Ape actually held its own. Forget about the meme coins, forget about the project. Why isn't it being sold? We don't know the answer to that, but we know it's not getting sold. That's what volume tells us. That's what the open and the close tell us. And you can see there's your 50% bounce already up. So if you had your order from the 50%, you already would have been 11% up in less than 24 hours. So fantastic job by Ape to hold its ground, not have to dip below its 50% for too long and actually hold its own. Not as much volume on the buying side, but you can see on the selling side, the volume is not that much. You can see a lot of cryptos actually increasing in volume as the selling decreased, but Ape didn't. Ape actually decreased its selling, which tells me that there's going to be more buyers into the market because, as we know, law of economics, supply and demand. Right now, there's more demand, it looks like, for Ape than there is supply. So expect prices for Ape to move. It's not to say it's going to move up for consecutive weeks and months and it's all going to be jolly jolly up from here, but it's just about recognizing what is strength. And right now, Ape looks pretty damn good. Let's have a look at crypto number 4, and that is Algorand. This is another one that had an extremely strong close. So you can see when I was looking at Algorand, I was actually like, man, this thing is looking weak. Probably going to test these lows from the 18th of June. But again, what did I say about the closes? You can see all that fear got gobbled up and closes extremely high on the bar. Perfect resistance at the 50, which is not what you want to see. But what you like is that the next day, hopefully we start moving up and actually putting a good close above the 50, which it looks like what we're doing. But let's just forget about the 50% a little bit for this one and just look at the close, because that is a very strong close on mass fear. And I really put a lot of emphasis on that. I really look for a really strong close on a scary day. That tells me an altcoin is doing very well. Like I said, plenty of altcoins that closed weak, right? Plenty of altcoins that closed mid on the bar, low on the bar. But in this instance, Algorand did not. It actually closed above on the bar on good volume. So it's a strong horse. And you can see, just watching this, you can see that we're going above our 50%. So quite good on Algorand's part. Next crypto, Render. This is another crypto that I've been in and out of the past couple of weeks and actually made a fair bit of profits just from trading this in and out on these upthrusts that you can see. So upthrust, 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 upthrust. I didn't short this one because it looked pretty good. So I didn't short it, and thankfully I didn't, because you can see it bounced off the 50% very, very well and did not do it. And this is another crypto. If the bull run were to start, theoretically, hypothetically, if it were to start now, I would stock up on Render, because Render has actually held up very, very well. Similar to Ape, but even better. Why? Because very similar. Yesterday was a very, very, very heavy selling day. Look at the volume bar. Look at the volume bar on the 30th of June. Look here, guys. 30th of June. There's no volume. There was not much selling at all happening with Render when the whole market was tanking and being sold off and getting bought back up. The fact that Render did not see a heavy selling day despite all those market conditions tells me it's very high, and it bounced off its 50% and still closed good. It didn't close as good as some other ones, but very, very high up on the bar, but there was no selling, and that is a very good sign of significant strength. That, again, going back to our law of economics, that there wasn't much supply of Render on the selling side. So demand will increase naturally and we will continue to go higher. Does that mean we're always going to go higher? No, I want to emphasize that. It's just probability. When I look at it, I can say, this looks pretty strong. I'll take my chances. I put my stop loss under the 50%. Okay. And I say to myself, you know what? Should I buy it? I'm happy to lose, 13%, 10%, whatever my stop loss may be, depending on the scenario. So here in Render's case, I wouldn't want to lose more than, say, these bars here. And if I were to buy it now, then I would be only willing to risk about a 11% loss should I do it, compared to a nice healthy profit of potentially 28%, depending on how it goes. Again, I make it up on the day. I see how it goes. I look at the 4-hour chart. I look at the 1-hour chart. Sometimes I even look at the 15-minute chart if I really want to see what's happening. But generally speaking, I let the order just do its own thing, and I try not to look at the charts because they can send you mixed signals sometimes. Another good crypto that I've been looking at is Matic. This is another one. You're probably noticing a theme here. High sell-off day. You can see increasing volume. See, in this instance, you had very, very big volume. So increasing volume on selling is not good, okay? Big volume bars are not good, but let's have a look closer, right? You can still see a very good, strong close, which means, again, once again, all of that selling got bought back up and it closed above its 50%. Test on the 50% and we're off. So if you're watching this, not financial advice, but Matic, you're still getting at a pretty good time potentially, because your risk is actually so low. So if we have our ruler, stop loss underneath the 50%, you're probably risking what, 4%? 4% for a massive chunk right here, anywhere between, the price at where it is now to the 63-cent mark. You're looking at anywhere between a 20 to 28% increase from where it is now, potentially for a 3% loss. That's the way I invest. I keep my stop losses very, very tight underneath support, but timing is a very, very big part into it, because you want to see the bounce and you want to get at the bounce. If it's a legitimate breakout, either to the up or the down, it will not test these levels here. It will actually keep going up, and the reverse is true when you're shorting. Next crypto up is Quant, QNT. This is another one. So you can see very, very similar. You can see sell-off day closes extremely high on the bar, on the 50%, on the dot, and you can already see already up. And this is how much I trust these tools. You can see if you just bought at the 50%, you already would have been up about 5%, give or take. And you're just looking for the volume, you're looking for the demand, and you can see Quant is already moving. You need volume. You want to see a good, strong close, and just up. That's good enough for me, right? That's good enough for me. I will take my chances. I'll put a stop loss underneath, and let's have a look. Next up is Axie. This is another one that doesn't look quite as strong, but still had a very, very strong close. Perfect resistance at the 50. So I don't like that. Hopefully we can get above it and start putting in, but nonetheless, a very strong close, and that's why it's on this list. The next one up is Binance. For those people who are looking to hodl a little bit more, maybe you're a bit more of an investor who's still sticking around during these times, good on you. But if you're looking for something that's a bit more safer, you're a bit more scared, you're feeling a bit fearful, Binance is probably still a very, very good option outside of the Ethereum and Bitcoin area. But you can see another good close, extreme selling. You can see got bought back up, closes above its 50% and already up. You probably won't get the same returns as some other cryptos, but Binance is still held up extremely well. It's an exchange, you can understand the fundamentals, and you're still getting a nice healthy 10%. Should you be afraid at the market at the times like this? So that's Binance in a nutshell. Not exactly the flashiest crypto, won't get you these mega gains. But again, if you're someone who's looking to hodl, you have a problem selling, Binance is one of the best picks I can give you in all of my videos. And the last one up is actually Dogecoin. Dogecoin has actually been doing quite well as well, holding up very, very good. You can see did not get much selling on the day. Didn't still close mid on the bar, but still above our 50%. Closes it, opens, still above the 50%, putting in some higher highs. Volume is still relatively healthy, a bit of a drop in the selling volume, which is what you want to see. You want to see low volume on selling days, high volume on breakouts, except for the boiling points. If you see like a huge bar with massive volume, probably time to take profits, but it's within reason, right? It's up to your discretion what that constitute as a huge, massive bar and a good, healthy breakout. So distinguish the two for yourself and see what constitutes each and just get that through experience. But what I'm trying to say with Dogecoin is you can see decreasing volume on the selling, increasing volume on the buying, above our 50%, still managed to close relatively strong on the bar, not as good as the other ones, but still above our 50%. So that's another emphasis I put there, another tick box I put there. Plus, you've got Elon Musk potentially tweeting some things and getting some good profits about that. But that's going to do it for this video. Still uncertain times, but we've had a very, very, very good support come into the market. And at the moment, we will be waiting to see what happens in the coming days. But this is what I was looking for potentially. And this is why I don't make long-term predictions, because you need to make sure that, it's very hard to predict the next day. And you need to make sure that you're just taking it day by day, seeing what the market shows you with your stop losses in place. And you will gradually make profits every day or every couple of weeks, depending on how frequent you want to trade and invest. But I don't pledge any loyalty to any of these altcoins. I don't care about the projects or fundamentals or management team. All I care about is the chart, looking at strength, making my profits, moving them on to the next project or the next crypto that is looking good on a chart. That's the way I go about it. But hopefully this helps you. If it does, give me a like, give me a subscribe. But until then, everyone stay safe and I will catch you on the next video.